What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. We're almost at 168,000 subscribers, so we're definitely moving along, getting closer to that 170K milestone. So just want to give a shout out to you guys. Now, as for the highlights in this video, we have some details on the Air Jordan 1 High OG shattered backboard. As well, we finally have a first look at the Air Jordan 17 Low UNC aka University Blue. We're going to talk about more scrapped Air Jordans in 2025. And other than that, we got a lot more news from Jordan Brand, but we have some news from Nike and ADIDAS. And now let's jump into the news. We have a potential release date for the Bape ADIDAS Dame 9. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's a potential release date is that it's not 100% confirmed. Also, we have two colorways that are releasing instead of one. In a previous video, I went over the red pair, but also dropping is a pair in green. This one has more of Bape's camouflage detailing throughout. Now, there's also a pair known as Olympic, but we don't have a release date for that one just yet. It could drop on the same day. That just isn't known. Also, the red pair is being called Better Scarlet due to the shade used by ADIDAS, and both are rumored to release on August 31st, although it's possible it could get delayed, and no retail price as of yet. You know what's crazy is that the ADIDAS Gazelle is a super popular shoe. Now, there's a lot of sneakerheads that wear them, but they have expanded beyond that, and they're being worn just by people who just want a new pair of kicks, something fresh. But for those who want something a little bit different by way of collaborations, Bad Bunny will debut his own ADIDAS Gazelle Indoor. Now, the overall look doesn't scream anything crazy, but it's a solid looking shoe, and the pair features a off-white, black, and gum colorway. Now, images of this pair has been going around for some time, but more importantly, we have a potential release date. So again, like the Bape ADIDAS Dame 9, this release date isn't 100% confirmed, but they are rumored to debut on September 21st, and the retail price will be $140. Who remembers the Nike Dunk Low ceramic? Well, for those that don't, this pair is part of the Ugly Duckling series, which originally released back in 2001. Also part of the series is the plum and veneer colorways, and in 2020, we saw the ceramic Nike Dunk Low return. Now, I'm not sure if there was another release of this shoe from 2020 onward, but we do have one for September 2024. Now, the Ugly Duckling series has been one of those that are sought after each pair, and when they do re-release, it does pretty well. So I expect it to do the same when they drop on September 25th, but then again, sneakers aren't moving like they once were, so there is a possibility they could sit. If they sit, I do plan on grabbing a pair because I don't own these, and this is something I would love to add to my collection. Now, what's kind of a letdown is the retail price. So when they returned in 2020, the retail price was $100, but now in 2024, they're going to cost $115. Let me know if you plan on picking these up or passing. We now have official images of the entire Nike Kobe 9 Halo series. There is a total of 3 pairs releasing. Now, months, and I mean months back, I talked about the Nike Kobe 9 EM Protro, and it turns out this will be a GS exclusive, meaning a grade school exclusive. I haven't heard anything about these dropping in adult sizing. And the difference between the EM and the Elite, well, the main difference would be that the EM features engineered mesh on the upper. Now, this pair is scheduled to release on August 23rd, and the retail price will be $120. Now, the next pair part of the series is the Nike Kobe 9 Elite High Protro Halo. When they originally released, they weren't known as high. We all knew they were highs, but in the name itself, it wasn't labeled a high. But I think now, to better distinguish the low version and the high, they're adding that in. And for the elite version of the shoe, this one will feature Flyknit. Now, this pair is going to drop on August 23rd, and the retail price will be $240. Now, the last pair part of the collection is the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro Halo. basically a low top version of the high. They feature fly knit on the upper, as well as hits of carbon fiber detailing. Actually, all three pairs do. And for some reason, which I think just due to delays of manufacturing and probably shipping, this pair won't release until September 19th. So almost a month after the other two Kobes drop, and the retail price will be $210. Now, the collection is a tribute to Kobe Bryant's birthday. They started doing this in 2023, so it's a little unfortunate that they're not going to drop on August 23rd. But looking at the brighter side of things, if you want to get the highs and the lows, at least you have some time to recover financially for at least those who are in that type of situation. I know me, that definitely would help me out if I were going after both of them. But yeah, let me know if you plan on picking any of these pairs up down in the comment section below. Alright, so it looks like we now have a first look at the Nike Air DT Max 96 Colorado Home. Now, previously, I showcased a photo that many had called the Colorado Home. That shoe featured a lot more white. It had some black detailing as well. And the Colorado Home will actually feature a black Vegas gold and white colorway. Now, the other pair in white and black that I showcased could wind up being the Colorado Away. Now, you guys might remember that I did a mock-up on the Colorado Away, and that mock-up was due to the color scheme of the pair, plus a pair that Deion Sanders was wearing that matched up to the color blocking. I did mention in that video that it wasn't a confirmed color blocking, but I did suspect that they potentially could look like that. But again, that part isn't confirmed, but just so you guys know, the white and black pair that was previously shown could be the Colorado Away. Now, in my opinion, these are nice. I like these a lot. As you can see, they feature the signature build, and then we have black across the base with gold detailing on the overlays and the branding. Shout out to Bosco Goodies on Instagram for sharing these photos. And for those who want to pick them up, this pair is currently scheduled to release on September 2nd, so not too far away from now. And the retail price will be $170. We have multiple pairs of the Nike Air Foamposite 1 dropping in 2025. Now, most people are waiting for the Galaxy pair to release, and we have a handful of new colorways that are going to drop, and one of those is the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Psychic Blue. Now, I believe somebody did leak a few weeks back about this shoe, but they said that it was only going to release in grade school sizing, and that isn't the case. So these will also be available in men's sizing, and the image shown is just a mock-up. We don't know how it's actually going to look. And the specific colorway is Psychic Blue and Black, so keeping it pretty simple. Due to that colorway, I expect that the shade of blue, Psychic Blue, runs across the Foamposite shell. We'll have black detailing on the eye stays, tongue, laces, on the heel, as well as the midfoot carbon fiber shank plate. And then, more than likely, a translucent outsole will complete the look. Now, hopefully soon I'll get a first look at them, and then I can confirm if this is accurate or not. But as for a release date, this pair is expected to debut summer 2025, which means the release could take place between April and June, and the retail price should be $240. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have new photos of the Air Jordan 1 Low Halloween Black Cat. Now, what I didn't talk about in the previous video, but it looks like these are going to be a grade school exclusive. Now, I'm not 100% for sure on that. Typically, themes like this usually drop exclusively in kid sizing, but I'm not going to lie, these are actually pretty nice, and I wouldn't mind if they did drop in adult sizes. I'd probably pick them up. Now, with these new images, we see a few different angles, and the overall images are a lot better. But one of the key highlights on this shoe is the glow-in-the-dark detailing. So, on the tongues, it features cat eyes, which will glow in the dark. As well, the outsole will glow in the dark, and although you can't see it in these photos, and this isn't confirmed as well, on the panels and around the toe, there's kind of like this foggy design that looks like it potentially could glow in the dark. Now, that same design is seen on the overlays, but with hits of blue and purple. I think that looks pretty dope. And then it comes with shaggy-like materials to represent a black cat. Overall, these are pretty cool. If they release for the kids, I probably will buy either my son or daughter a pair, seeing if they like them. But they are expected to debut in October. Unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date. and currently no retail price. We have a couple new photos of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Satin Shadow. Now, for those that don't know, this pair will debut in October, and they will drop exclusively in women's sizing. Now, the color blocking resembles that of the OG Air Jordan 1 Shadow, but instead of using leather, this pair will feature satin materials. Now, if you're a fan of this pair, the good news is that I think they're going to sit, and I'm sure a lot of you already know that as well, just because, for one, shoes aren't moving like they were. We know that. But for two, last year we saw the satin bread pair release, and those sat for a long time. I don't know if they're still sitting. I haven't really looked. And to most people, the bread colorway is more popular than the shadow. Both are dope, but yeah, I got to go with the bread colorway over the shadow if I'm picking between the two. So this is a pair that if you do like, and you can be patient, I wouldn't buy on release date. I would wait until they go on sale. And they're currently scheduled to debut on October 26th, and the retail price will be $180. I probably should have talked about this part in the last video, but I thought it was kind of already known, but I posted something on Twitter. I didn't talk about it on YouTube, and I know not everybody follows me on Twitter, so I probably should address it here. So what people are saying is that the Off-White Air Jordan 1 High OG Canary Yellow is scrapped. Now, technically they aren't scrapped because the release was never confirmed. Not at all. Now, were there talks about the release behind closed door? There were some talks, yes. But that shouldn't lead to somebody posting that it's a confirmed or even expected release. So now the whole narrative going around is that the shoes have been canceled, but I want to reiterate that it was never confirmed in the first place. Also, the reasoning for this cancellation was not due to the leak, although it could have happened because of the leak. It's just that it wasn't confirmed yet. Again, it just goes back to the talks of things. Now, the reason why none of these Off-White releases from Jordan Brand are 100% confirmed yet is due to the fact that Virgil Abloh's estate, I believe it's run by his wife, has yet to sign a contract with Jordan Brand. I believe there is one in place with Nike, but Jordan Brand is considered a different section. So when things like this get leaked, it could jeopardize the overall signing and something just coming to retailers. Now, I'm not saying I 100% agree with, information getting leaked and then all of a sudden it's not releasing. But where I stand on it, when I hear certain things like that, I want to wait until it's confirmed. Now, at this point in time, there is no Off-White Air Jordan collaboration 100% confirmed. I just want to make that clear. Yes, I have heard about potential releases if a contract gets signed, but if that contract doesn't get signed, then we get no releases. So that's why one of the main reasons why I'm not talking about what I heard of, just because one, like I mentioned, it could not happen. The contract could not get signed. And two, it's so early that they could change things around. For example, in one of my previous videos, I don't know how long ago, I talked about the Off-White Air Jordan 4 Bread. I said those aren't releasing, and at that time, there's been no talks about that shoe dropping, even behind the scenes. But let's just say a contract gets signed tomorrow. That pair could be on the table. They could decide to, because it's so far in advance we are until this holiday or even fall 2025 releases that anything could happen. So in my previous video, that's exactly what I heard. There was no talks about the Off-White Air Jordan 4 Bread releasing. Now, the talks that I have heard about, it's no surprise that it is an Air Jordan 1. Again, that's not confirmed. It is a colorway that we all know of. But other than that, I don't want to say too much more just because, again, it could get scrapped. The contract could not get signed. And another reason, from the individual who I was told by, I was told not to say anything, and I respect them. I got to keep my word on that. But don't get me wrong, I wish I could leak every single thing to you guys that I ever hear. A lot of it does eventually release, but there's a good amount that doesn't. And I'm pretty thankful that I didn't talk about them when I initially heard for the stuff that didn't happen, just because it would make me look bad. It would be like I'm spreading this information that's not accurate or even confirmed in the slightest. Now, there is another model that, again, there's just talks about it, but if a contract does get signed, it's more than likely going to happen. In one of my previous videos, I said, if you guys guess when that information does come out, I'll give you a shout out. And I will say in that video, in the comment section, people did guess the model, but nobody guessed the colorway. I'm leaving little breadcrumbs here, and the only other hint that I previously gave is that it's a shoe that eventually will be celebrating its 35th anniversary. Now, I'm not telling you the year. I'm not telling you if it's 2025, 2026, or 2027. So it could be one of those 3 years. Again, I just want to reiterate that even that pair could not happen if the contract doesn't get signed or just things change. So I'm going to make the official announcement on it once I get the style code and the colorway, which makes it more solid. Now, it is possible, even with a style code and a colorway, that a shoe could get scrapped. And that typically happens when it's a GR shoe. But we saw a lot of shoes that had style codes and colorways scrapped for holiday 2024. And the reason for that is, a couple reasons. One, they have a lot of releases already coming. And two, they're not going to have time to manufacture them with all the delays and things that are going on overseas. But I hope that clarifies a little bit more, because I know in the comment section, I've been getting a lot of questions and even DMs about it. And like always, I'll make sure to update you guys. So speaking of scrap shoes, we do have a collaboration that has been scrapped. It is the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Shy Pink. And shout out to Mr. Unloved Ones. He announced this on his Twitter yesterday, and that is the shoes are no longer releasing. Again, one of the rare cases where a collab does get scrapped. From my recollection, all of the collabs that ever been scrapped, it's been from Travis Scott. And what I've noticed is there's been a lot of Air Jordan 1 Low OG collabs with him that was supposed to debut in 2024 and 2025. So maybe they just overloaded it and then realized, hey, we have too much stuff releasing. Now, I don't know the reasons why this pair has been scrapped. I found out about this shoe several months ago, and when I announced it to you guys, it was this pair along with the Velvet Brown pair. Now, the Velvet Brown pair has been moved forward. I believe it's dropping on December 21st now. And then, unfortunately, this pair just has been scrapped. So, the first image that I'm going to show is accurate color blocking of how they were going to look. However, the shading is off on that shoe. Sadly enough, I don't believe an authentic pair has hit the net just yet. I've been seeing a lot of fakes of these being produced, and all the fakes have been based off of mock-ups that were going around. I even believe that there's a guy close to Travis Scott who did a video. He wound up deleting that video, and I was told that even his pair was fake. I don't think the guy was super into sneakers, but you would assume that, having some ties to Travis Scott, he would be able to get the shoes. But yeah, this pair is no longer releasing. Of course, if things ever change, I'll make sure to let you guys know. Finally, we have a first look at the Air Jordan 17 Low University Blue, also known as UNC. Now, some of you might say, hey, I actually saw a first look months ago, and you even shared images of that. And that is true. I did share what was being called the first look, and at that time, I did make mention that the images used was a sample. So that shoe is a sample version of what was expected to release, and I will say that the sample pair, and I believe I mentioned this prior to, the shade of blue actually looked lighter. Now, that could be due to the lighting of who took the photos, but in my opinion, these do look on point to the OG, which originally released back in 2002. Now, as you can see in these images, they will come with the briefcase. Now, when the lows dropped originally in 2002, they did not come with a briefcase. I believe it was the Jordan face box with the lines through it. But to celebrate the return in 2024, Jordan Brand decided to have them come packaged with a briefcase. Now, because of that briefcase, the retail price has gone up. I don't know what it would have been without a briefcase, but the retail price with it is $300. I would assume if Jordan Brand released them without the briefcase, they would cost around $240 to $250. So that's even high in itself. And it would be cool if Jordan Brand released two versions, one with a briefcase and one without. I definitely would get the one without to save some money. But other than that, these are looking incredible. I'm super excited about them. Now, my favorite colorway of the 17 Low is the Lightning, and I missed out on those. Unfortunately, I'm not going back. I'm not paying resale for those, but I got to get one pair of 17 lows this year, so this is probably going to be it. And on a side note, a lot of people have been asking me about the Air Jordan 17 Varsity Red. That's the mid-top / high version of the shoes. And unfortunately, I haven't heard any updates. Those might have either been delayed, and when I say delayed, by a lot, or they could have been scrapped altogether. I haven't got official confirmation if they've been delayed or scrapped, but from a few people, I'm hearing that they're no longer showing up in the system on their end. So that's pretty unfortunate. Also, on another side note, if you're still listening, I don't know why I'm talking lower. I guess I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a secret. There is another Air Jordan 17 low dropping in 2025, but this one appears to be a collaboration. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm still trying to track down some info on that, but I wanted to give you guys something a little early before I officially announce it. Now, at the time of recording, this pair is set to drop on August 28th, but it's very possible that it could get delayed. One of the stores by me is a neighborhood retailer where these would be landing at. So what I was told is that these are going to be available at neighborhood retailers. It's not going to be a GR. You won't be able to walk into a Foot Locker and grab them. Anyways, that retailer has not received them yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were pushed until September. But like always, I'll make sure to update you. And like I mentioned, the retail price will be $300. Alright, so we got a little bit of an update on the Air Jordan 1 High OG Shattered Backboard. Now, for those who don't know, this pair was expected to return in 2025. I did state in my previous video that it wasn't 100% confirmed just because I wanted to wait until we got a style code. Although I did hear from some very reliable sources that the shoes were going to return in 2025 to celebrate the 10th anniversary. So this little bit of new information that I did hear about the shoes, one, we have the style code. So that's a very good sign. As you guys know, the style code is unique to each shoe. It ties it in, and in my opinion, makes it more concrete that the pair is releasing. Now, it is possible even with a style code that the pair could still get scrapped, but in this case, I highly, highly doubt it just due to the fact of the hype of the shoes. Also, this pair will be available in full family sizing. So they'll be available in men's, grade school, preschool, and toddler. Now, I don't have the retail price breakdown for grade school and below, but the retail price for men's sizing will be $180. Now, we also have a release time frame. Now, I suspected that it would be part of fall 2025 because I did see the list for summer 2025. These were not included on that list. And from what I'm hearing for holiday 2025, which is going to be another crazy lineup of releases, it's probably best that these drop in fall. Now, for those who don't know, the reason why this shoe comes in this colorway and they're being called Shattered Backboard, in 1985, there was an exhibition game in Italy, and that's where Michael Jordan shattered a backboard. Now, the uniform he was wearing was in orange, black, and white, so that's why we have the colorway. And then on the insoles of this pair, it features shattered glass. The 2025 pair will have a slightly different shape, known as the V2, which was first introduced on the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1. So just a little bit of a bulkier toe box, a little bit of a larger swoosh, and the overall shape has been modified. Nothing we haven't seen so far, but just wanted to throw that out there. And like I mentioned, they are expected to debut fall 2025, and the retail price will be $180. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now this week, I have at least one more long form video, a news video, and other than that, I need to drop a handful of shorts. I have a lot of shoes that I need to record videos of. For example, I have the Air Max 90 reverse duck camo. Those don't drop until like the end of September almost. I got a few other Nikes as well, and then I have the Air Jordan 3 cement gray. Man, those are nice in hand. I don't care what people say about them. They're nice, but I'll be dropping those videos this week. I also believe I need to go pick up the Air Jordan 4 White Thunder and do one on those as well. So, like always, be on the lookout for that. Now, as far as this video goes, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.